We know Israel will no longer automatically grant visas to United Nations workers. How do you see that impacting aid efforts into Gaza now?
The aid situation is a complex matter because Israel fears that any aid that goes in will simply go straight to the Hamasniks in their tunnels, and the history of what has happened to aid destined or intended for civilians in Gaza is precisely that. Think about it. Gaza has received more aid from international players and from the Arab world, and indeed from Israel itself, in the form of energy and other supplies than any Arab country, I think, in the past decade or two. And what they did with it is build tunnels, Hamas did, and very sophisticated rockets and other military means, and the people are largely impoverished. So Israel's concern about letting in humanitarian aid is not purely out of cruelty or indifference, but I think reflective of a genuine problem. Now, on top of that, there is a lot of unhappiness in Israel with the role of the UN, basically UNRWA, the UN Relief Works Administration, which theoretically is there to help refugees, but in reality, or at least Israel claims, and I think those claims have some credibility, has become very much complicit with Hamas, and even a case of some facilities that have been found to have been used for storage of weapons, I think probably is reflective of a really big problem. And on top of that, Israelis are unhappy with the Red Cross that can credibly say, look, we work discreetly and Hamas just hasn't given us any access. But again, from Israel's perspective, have not really tried to create pressure on Hamas via players that might be able to create that pressure or to pass on that pressure, like Qatar, like some of the Arab countries, to relent. So you're looking here at a situation where there may still be infants, and there are elderly people well into their 80s who are being held, and sick people, even dying people who are being held in terrible conditions by captors who released hostages accused of rape in the case of women. And the Red Cross is not being allowed to see them. Now, is the Red Cross making maximal noise about this? If they are, I haven't heard it. So, a lot of these Israeli complaints about international bodies probably need to be looked at pretty closely.
Wow. Well, it is fascinating insight. Dan Perry, thank you for joining us.